Seniors, stop. These 10 foods become dangerous when refrigerated. Here's the truth. Seniors, please stop. What if your refrigerator, yes, that trusted cold box, is quietly damaging your health every single day? Sounds dramatic? It's not. Because 10 everyday foods become dangerous when refrigerated, triggering chemical changes, destroying vital nutrients, and even increasing your risk of heart disease, memory loss, and cancer. And here's the scary part. Over 99% of people over 60 are refrigerating these foods right now without knowing the damage. One of them even deactivates over 200 genes the moment it gets cold. We'll reveal it at number 2. Stick with me, because this isn't about flavor, it's about your brain, heart, and independence. Before we begin, let us know in the comments below where you're watching from, your age, and which of these foods you've been refrigerating without realizing the harm. Have you noticed any changes in taste, texture, or how your body feels after eating them? We're reading and replying to every single comment with personalized tips just for you. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more senior health tips that can truly change your life. Let's start with a staple nearly every senior has in the kitchen: potatoes. Most people think refrigeration keeps them fresher, but for potatoes, it's quite the opposite. When stored in cold environments, like your fridge, the starches in potatoes begin converting into simple sugars. This process, known as cold-induced sweetening, may sound harmless, but when you later cook those same potatoes, especially through frying, baking, or roasting, those sugars interact with amino acids to produce acrylamide, a chemical compound linked to nerve damage and increased cancer risk. For older adults, this is especially alarming. The body's ability to detoxify harmful compounds like acrylamide slows with age. A study from the University of Idaho showed a shocking 300% increase in sugar levels in refrigerated potatoes within just 2 weeks. That means every time you eat golden fries or crispy roast potatoes that were stored cold, you may be unknowingly exposing yourself to cancer-promoting compounds. And this isn't just theory. Harold, 74, from Ohio, had been making mashed potatoes for years the same way. But lately, he noticed a strange aftertaste, slightly sweet and almost artificial. "I thought my taste buds were going," he told us. But it wasn't age, it was acrylamide buildup from cold storage. Once he switched to storing his potatoes in a paper bag in a dark cabinet, that odd taste disappeared, and he's never looked back. So how should seniors store potatoes? Keep them in a cool, dark, dry space, ideally at 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Avoid plastic bags. They trap moisture and accelerate spoilage. And most importantly, keep them far from onions. When stored together, they release gases that make each other spoil twice as fast. Now, on to another kitchen essential: bread. You might be surprised to learn that putting bread in the fridge is one of the fastest ways to ruin it. Refrigeration causes the starches in bread to recrystallize, a process known as starch retrogradation, making the bread go stale 6 times faster than if stored at room temperature. Seniors who often live alone and buy bread in bulk may think refrigeration is preserving their loaf, but it's actually drying it out, killing its flavor, and wasting money. Scientists from the Institute of Food Technologists tested this in the lab. Bread stored in the fridge hardened and lost flavor within 3 days, while room temp bread remained soft and tasty for over a week. Sandra, 68, from Arizona, shared her story with us. "I kept thinking I bought cheap bread because it turned to cardboard by day 3, she said. "I didn't know the fridge was the problem." The solution? Store bread in a paper bag or bread box at room temperature. For longer storage, slice it and freeze it. This method locks in moisture and freshness. Plus, you can toast it straight from frozen. It's ideal for those managing blood sugar or trying to maintain a healthy weight through portion control. Bread and potatoes may seem like simple foods, but for seniors, they can be a source of healing or harm, depending on how they're stored. As we age, small changes to daily habits, like proper food storage, can have a huge impact on heart health, digestion, and even cancer prevention. And best of all, these changes cost you nothing, just knowledge, awareness, and a little rearranging in your kitchen. Let's move on to a food that many seniors rely on not just for taste, but for its powerful natural healing benefits: honey. For generations, honey has been prized for its antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidant properties. Many older adults use it to soothe sore throats, support digestion, or even apply it to skin wounds. But storing honey in the refrigerator, a habit most people consider harmless, can quietly strip away those very benefits. Here's why. Cold temperatures cause honey to crystallize, turning it from a smooth, golden liquid into a gritty, hard mass. That change isn't just unpleasant, it affects how honey behaves chemically. Each time the jar is opened in a cold environment, moisture from condensation enters. That moisture doesn't just change the texture, it encourages yeast fermentation, reducing honey's natural shelf stability and medicinal potency. Worse yet, studies show that refrigeration causes honey to lose up to 35% of its antimicrobial activity. For seniors who depend on honey for its immune-boosting and anti-inflammatory qualities, that's not just disappointing, it's potentially harmful. As we age, our body's natural defenses decline. Every antioxidant and healing enzyme counts. By refrigerating honey, you may be undoing one of the easiest and most affordable natural remedies available. The proper way to store honey is simple. Keep it at room temperature between 64 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit in a tightly sealed glass container. Avoid plastic, which can leach chemicals over time. If crystallization does occur, you can gently place the jar in warm water and stir. It will return to liquid form without losing its healing properties. Now, let's talk about something even more sacred to many seniors: coffee. That warm, comforting ritual we rely on every morning for energy, alertness, and sometimes even joy. But if you're storing your coffee, whether ground or whole bean, in the refrigerator, you're likely sabotaging its benefits without realizing it. Here's the science. Coffee beans are incredibly porous, meaning they readily absorb odors from their surroundings. Your fridge might contain a half-cut onion, garlic, leftovers from last night's stir-fry, all of which can subtly invade your coffee. The result? A brew that tastes sour, musty, or just off. More importantly, refrigeration causes the essential oils in coffee to harden. These oils carry the very antioxidants and flavor compounds that make coffee so rich, bold, and satisfying. When they solidify, extraction during brewing becomes incomplete, leaving you with a dull, bitter cup that lacks aroma, complexity, and health value. Proper coffee storage makes a huge difference. The best method? Store it in an opaque, airtight container in a cool, dry pantry, away from light, heat, and moisture. Buy in smaller quantities if possible. Grind just before brewing. And if you must store long-term, use the freezer, once and only once. Never refreeze and never refrigerate between uses. For seniors seeking more energy, sharper focus, and natural sources of antioxidants, both honey and coffee can be powerful allies, but only when stored right. These aren't just kitchen staples. In the golden years, they're part of your daily medicine cabinet. Among nature's most powerful healing foods, garlic stands out as a true superfood, especially for seniors. Rich in allicin, garlic is a natural antibiotic, antiviral agent, and circulatory booster. It's been shown to help reduce blood pressure, lower bad cholesterol, and even support immune defenses against infections. But storing garlic the wrong way, inside your refrigerator, can silently strip away those benefits. Cold temperatures and trapped moisture inside the fridge create the perfect environment for garlic to sprout and mold. Sprouted garlic loses its pungency and healing capacity, but it's the hidden mold growth that poses the bigger danger. Some strains of mold that thrive in moist, cold spaces produce mycotoxins, toxic compounds linked to digestive issues, liver strain, and suppressed immune function. For seniors, whose detox systems are already slower with age, this added burden may quietly impact long-term wellness. Moreover, studies confirm what natural healers have long suspected. Garlic loses 50% of its allicin in just 10 days of refrigeration. That's a dramatic decline in its protective effects, especially when you rely on garlic as part of a natural cure approach to heart health, inflammation, and cold resistance. So how should you store it? Keep garlic in a well-ventilated mesh bag or basket, away from the stove or any humid areas. It thrives in a dry, dark environment at around 60 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Never seal it in plastic. It suffocates the bulb, causes rot, and speeds up spoilage. And once you break apart the head, try to use the individual cloves within 10 days to retain their full potency. A simple shift in storage means the difference between eating something dead or something that still heals. Now, let's look at a food that's deceptively fragile: bananas. Sweet, easy to chew, and loaded with potassium, fiber, and vitamin C, bananas are a go-to fruit for many seniors looking to regulate blood pressure, ease digestion, and support brain function. But the mistake most people make? Putting them in the fridge too soon. Bananas are native to tropical climates and biologically unfit for cold. When chilled, their internal cells suffer a breakdown known as chilling injury, a process that ruptures membranes, turns the flesh mushy, and renders the fruit nutritionally hollow. Even worse, research from the Queensland Department of Agriculture revealed that bananas stored below 56 degrees Fahrenheit lose up to 80% of their vitamin C in just 5 days. That's not just a minor dip, it's a near total collapse of one of the most important vitamins for aging bodies. Vitamin C is vital for collagen synthesis, wound healing, and immune defense. Seniors already face reduced absorption, so every milligram matters. A blackened banana might still be edible, but its nutritional value has plummeted. The key is strategic storage. Keep bananas at room temperature, hung if possible, so the ethylene gas they emit can disperse evenly. Want a slow ripening? Wrap each stem in plastic and keep them apart. Have extras? Peel and freeze them. Unlike the fridge, freezing halts spoilage and preserves both nutrients and texture. Bonus: frozen bananas are ideal for making smoothies that hydrate and nourish without added sugar. In short, garlic and bananas may seem simple, but when stored correctly, they become part of a holistic health routine that supports longevity, clarity, and energy. When stored wrong, they may do the opposite. The solution is not expensive pills. It's relearning how to respect your food. We've seen how common foods like potatoes and garlic can turn harmful when stored in the wrong conditions. But it doesn't stop there. Two more staples in nearly every senior's kitchen, onions and tomatoes, can become dangerous to your health and useless to your nutrition when placed in the refrigerator. Let's talk about onions. These versatile bulbs are known for their anti-inflammatory properties and natural sulfur compounds that may support heart health, blood sugar balance, and immunity. But the moment you toss them into your fridge drawer, you expose them to excessive humidity and cold, setting off a destructive chain reaction. Most refrigerators maintain humidity levels around 95%. Onions, by contrast, require only 60 to 70% humidity, ideally in an area with airflow. When that balance is disrupted, onions start to absorb moisture, leading to the development of black mold between the layers, some of which produce aflatoxins, substances with high carcinogenic potential. These toxins, even in small amounts, can silently strain the liver and digestive system, especially in older adults with slower detoxification capabilities. Even if no mold appears, another hidden danger is at play. Cold temperatures cause starch in onions to convert into simple sugars, altering their taste and cooking behavior. That signature savory edge? Gone. Instead, you get an overly sweet, mushy onion that fails to caramelize and instead burns quickly. The core culinary and nutritional integrity is lost. Proper storage? Keep whole onions in a mesh bag or open basket, away from light and heat. Ideal temperature, 45 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit. And remember, never store onions near potatoes. Like we discussed earlier, they emit gases that accelerate spoilage in each other. They may grow underground together, but in storage, they're sworn enemies. Next, we come to a fruit many seniors rely on as a natural medicine: the tomato. Bursting with lycopene, a potent antioxidant, tomatoes are known to support heart function, reduce inflammation, and protect vision, particularly from age-related macular degeneration. But those benefits are only available if you store them right. When tomatoes are kept below 54 degrees Fahrenheit, the cold doesn't just ruin their texture, it literally shuts down their flavor-producing genes. A groundbreaking study from the University of Florida confirmed that cold storage deactivates over 200 genes, including those responsible for aroma and nutrient synthesis. And the worst part? Once turned off, those genes don't turn back on, even if you bring the tomato back to room temperature. This genetic shutdown affects more than just taste. Cold exposure significantly reduces lycopene concentration, up to 65% lower, and disrupts the enzyme activity necessary for its absorption in the human body. In other words, that cold tomato on your salad might look ripe, but it's no longer doing your health any favors. The solution is beautifully simple. Store tomatoes stem side down at room temperature, ideally between 55 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. This prevents moisture entry through the stem scar, a common point of rot. Keep them in a breathable container away from direct sunlight and never in plastic bags, which trap ethylene gas and cause overripening. Just like with honey, coffee, bananas, and garlic, proper storage isn't just about taste. It's about preserving the medicinal value of what you eat. For seniors seeking natural cure solutions, holistic healing, and daily nutrition that protects instead of harms, even small adjustments like these can lead to massive long-term rewards. As we've uncovered so far, storing everyday foods the wrong way, especially in the refrigerator, can quietly rob them of their healing potential. From garlic to tomatoes, we've seen how cold can destroy vital compounds. But perhaps no food suffers more tragically from refrigeration than the avocado. Often called nature's butter, avocados are one of the few fruits that provide a rare combination of heart-healthy monounsaturated fats, vitamins E and C, potassium, and fiber. For seniors, these nutrients are gold. They support brain function, eye health, cholesterol balance, and reduce inflammation linked to aging. But here's the danger. Refrigerate an avocado too soon or for too long, and you're not just ruining its taste. You're damaging its medicinal profile at the cellular level. Cold exposure causes the fats in avocado to undergo lipid peroxidation, a process where healthy fats oxidize into free radicals. These unstable molecules may trigger cellular damage, inflammation, and oxidative stress, exactly what seniors try to avoid. Additionally, studies from Stanford University show that refrigerated avocados lose up to 90% of their antioxidant activity in just 4 days. And let's not forget the texture. Cold breaks the bonds between fiber and fats, turning the once creamy flesh into a stringy, watery, bitter disappointment. This is why so many people report that their guacamole suddenly tastes off, even though the avocado looked ripe the day before. The fix? Let avocados ripen at room temperature, ideally between 65 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Only refrigerate them once fully ripe, and even then, for no more than 2 days. For leftovers, store with the pit intact, brush the exposed flesh with lemon juice, and seal in an airtight container, preferably with a slice of onion nearby. The natural sulfur from the onion will help prevent browning without affecting taste. Now, onto a surprising newcomer to the do not chill list, apples. Long regarded as one of the healthiest snacks for seniors, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. This fruit is high in fiber, vitamin C, and quercetin, a plant compound linked to reduced cognitive decline and lower stroke risk. But if you're keeping apples in your fridge for more than a few days, you might be unknowingly undoing much of their benefit. Cold temperatures interfere with the natural aging and starch conversion process in apples. Over time, refrigeration causes apples to lose their crispness and flavor, becoming mealy, bland, and dull. More importantly, prolonged cold also leads to a measurable decline in antioxidant content, especially polyphenol, which are key to their anti-inflammatory and brain protective effects. While short-term refrigeration can help delay ripening, it should never be your long-term strategy. Instead, keep apples in a fruit bowl away from direct sunlight, where they can breathe and maintain natural firmness. If you must refrigerate, use the crisper drawer for just 2 to 3 days max, and let them come to room temperature before eating to restore flavor and aroma. In the end, avocados and apples remind us of a powerful truth. Just because it fits in the fridge doesn't mean it belongs there. For seniors striving for a healthier lifestyle, stronger immunity, and more energy through food, mastering how we store, ripen, and protect what we eat may be just as important as what we choose to eat in the first place. Your refrigerator might be undoing your health efforts every single day, and you don't even know it. The truth is, it's not just about spoiled food or funny textures. It's about what your body is missing because of silent nutrient loss. When you store the wrong foods in the cold, you're not just affecting flavor, you're stripping away antioxidants, damaging healthy fats, and feeding inflammation without realizing it. But here's the good news. You don't need expensive supplements, complicated diets, or the latest detox trend to feel better. Sometimes the smartest healing starts with the smallest habits, like where you place your avocado, how you store garlic, or whether your tomatoes are still breathing. When you store food the right way, you protect your gut health, your immune system, your energy, and even your memory. And for those of us over 60, every ounce of nutrition counts. So now we want to hear from you. Which of these 10 foods have you been refrigerating wrong for years? Did any of them surprise you? Let us know in the comments. We're reading every one and sharing personalized tips. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more senior health tips that truly make a difference.